What's up? You're listening to the Daughter's Diary podcast. I'm your host, Chanel Moore, and I'm excited about this new series idea that I'm embarking on. Can't wait to share it. So I was thinking, I do a 5 for 5 series where I take 5 minutes to share an encouraging phrase and talk about it, and that's it. But I was like, why not do something that's kind of funny, but has, the right undertones to it. And I thought, man, I think what I would really enjoy is like a phrases I love to hate series or phrases I enjoy disliking or whatever. And so that's what this is going to be. I don't know how many it's going to be. I don't know how long they're going to be, but I'm just going to enjoy this, and I hope that you do too. And so the first phrase that I want to talk about that I really hate hearing people say is, I don't like to read. This phrase gets on my nerves so bad for so many reasons. And if you know me, you know that this probably just boils me to hear people say, I don't like to read. And there's a lot of reasons that it annoys me. So I'm just going to put it out there. So I know I know kind of what people mean when they say it, but I also think that people really just don't try. And so, yes, when I was a kid, reading wasn't my favorite thing. Like, I didn't love reading like that. Like, I read because I had to read what I had to read for school. So I didn't read from a place of enjoyment. I read from a place of really, you have to read. Like, I read from a place of duty and not delight, essentially. But when my aunt gave me the book, Staying Pure, that was the first time that I read or started reading something that I didn't want to put the book down. Like, like something finally clicked where it's like, oh my gosh, like I have to stop reading so that I can go to bed, because it was so good. And she had given me this book. I don't know. She gave me a book every year for my birthday, and I just never really got into them. And so she gave me this one, and then finally, like, I just was like, I'm gonna pick this up. And once I picked it up, it was really hard for me to put down. And she was so happy that I was reading it, because it was about staying sexually pure as a teenager, even as you grow up. And it was a book series. And so that just sparked something in me. But what it took was reading something that created that spark. And so I always tell people, no, like, you can like to read. You just need to find what you like to read about. You need to find the topic that interests you, and you'll enjoy reading. But no, you probably don't like reading when you're made to read. And so even people who, like, I don't think people understand it. Like, if you read your Bible, hopefully you read your Bible because you like reading your Bible. So to say you don't like to read, to me, it's just, I know, give me grace, a little bit of an ignorant statement is what I'll say. You just maybe like to read what you want to read. And to me, like, you need to learn how to like to read, because you just need to learn how to, I believe, slow down in life and have to learn and retain and process in your own mind. There's nothing like someone reading and you coming up with the imagery of what was read, and not someone telling you about it. That's why, yes, I enjoy doing a book review, but it's nothing like you reading the book yourself. And yet we all know I'm not a huge audiobook person. I don't think they're bad. I just think it's different when you see the words yourself and hear them yourself, but you can follow along. I wasn't really that good at that when I was in school, but it could work for some people. So to just say you don't like to read or you don't like books or whatever it is, that's just a strange one for me. I got to be honest. The other part about that statement to me, knowledge is power. And so when people say, "Oh, I just don't like to read," it bothers me because I know that people made sacrifices for us to be able to freely obtain knowledge. And to me, to not take advantage of the sacrifices that they made is just almost a slap in the face, to be honest. And God created us, human beings, so beautiful and so unique, and with this brain to understand and obtain knowledge. Like, God gave us the ability for literacy. And to just say, I'm not going to use it, it's just like, well, man, God gave you that unique ability to learn and to understand and obtain knowledge. And you're pretty much like, yeah, but I don't like doing it. And it's just hard. It's really hard for me, I'll be honest, when I hear women say, "Oh, I just don't like to read," or whatever. Like, people fought for us to be educated. And yes, reading is part of being educated. It's really hard for me when I hear minorities say, like, "Oh, I just don't like to read." We know this country's history, hopefully. Like, we know the history and the fight that so many minorities have had to go through. And for you to just be like, well, like we've hopefully we've heard the stories of minorities who were denied library books because they were minorities, but they wanted to learn, they wanted to read, and just for us to have all this access to knowledge and just shrug it off is painful to me. And even for people who are not high in economic status, like, you think about poor people, you think about the poor sharecroppers back in the day, and all these people who really couldn't even afford to not work to go to school, and the fight that it was for them to be taught so that they can read and be literate and make wise voting decisions and all these things. And for people to just be like, it is what it is. It's just like such a slap in the face to those people. And so I just I just want to encourage you to just maybe not say, "I don't like to read." Maybe even change it to, I don't like to read a lot. I don't like to read that. But to just say, "I don't like to read," and to say it without actually trying to read and embark on learning, just don't say it to me, I guess is what I've said. I guess maybe please just don't say it to me is what I would say. I love you all and I'm rooting for you all, of course, but please don't come to me saying I don't like to read, because I'm gonna give you more than just a 10-minute podcast mouthful of why you should change your attitude towards reading. And so that is one of the things that just really does get under my skin. And I get reading is a preference for some people, and that might not be how everybody winds down. But I just think to say you don't like to read and that you're not even just going to try is almost, to me, saying you don't really care for just learning and growing on your own. I don't want people to tell me all about a book. I want people to mention it and give me some details, but I want to read it myself. I want to craft the story. I want to I want to create the characters in my own mind. I want to read it and say, oh my gosh, did you not highlight this quote and compare notes? And I can't do that if I don't read. And I will say this, when I met Brandon and we were dating, he was like, I don't really like to read, blah, blah, blah. And no, I didn't like it when he said it. But this is what I will say. If you will try, if you will embark on that journey, it's amazing what can happen. Because today, Brandon is a published author. And that reminds me of just how uniquely crafted we are and how God changes people, changes desires, changes things, but how we got to be willing to say, okay, God, I'm ready for something new, or I want to try something new, or maybe I don't not like this or hate this. Maybe I just needed to try it. And now we have a guy who said he didn't like to read, who is a published author. What might that be for you? Till next time. You've been listening to the Daughter's Diary podcast. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. For more information, you can visit our website at www.achanelmore.com. There, you'll find blogs, a store, more podcasts, and tips. Thank you for your time.